Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Now, in this video, I want to talk about April 27th. And specifically about April 27th is what's going to happen with AMC. A lot of you guys watched the interview with Tony De Niro, and that was probably the most commented question that I got on the last video today is, did you watch the interview? And yeah, I did watch the interview. And it's mainly along the same lines of what I have been saying in specific regards to April 27th, what the judge is going to do and what is going to happen with AMC stock. Now, what I personally think is going to happen with AMC stock might be a little bit different from other opinions. And that's why it's important to formulate your own opinions and come to your own conclusions. But I think just where the positioning is in AMC will give us this rally that I have been talking about. So that's kind of the premise of what we're going to get into here in this video. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys like this kind of information, if you want more of this information, if you like the markets, you like making money, you like growing your knowledge base to reach financial freedom. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you guys also want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description of this video as well. So, number one, the thing that I really want to point out from the interview from Tony De Niro, if you guys have not watched it, definitely go ahead and give it a read. It kind of starts off with a lot of information, specifically what we're going to cover in this video. It's pretty quick in the live stream. You guys can check it out for yourselves if you would like to. But essentially, it's what I've been saying, that nothing substantial is going to happen on April 27th. Now, we're going to get some form of answer, I guess you could say. If the judge does decide to do things the right way, in which Morgan Stern is known for doing that, so obviously that's probably how things are going to go. There's a process to these kind of court litigations, and it does open the door for comments. Now, comments on what? What the judge is likely to do, in my personal opinion, is to open the door to comments on this settlement, specifically on this settlement, without actually giving a verdict on this whole reverse split and where we currently sit with that. So in other words, what's going to happen, in my opinion, coming down to April 27th is, one, we're not going to get a yes or no on the reverse split or this proposal, but the door will be open to comments on the settlement. And based off of how that goes is kind of what the judge is going to take into consideration. Now, there's a possibility, and this is not set in stone, it's a possibility that there is a vote just with common stockholders, because the big thing that was going to court, the whole argument to bring this reverse split, this dilution, to the courtroom was AMC common shareholders did not really have a vote. That Adam Aron created this arbitrage trade and gave the same voting power as AMC common stockholders. So when you say 87% of AMC investors wanted this, well, how many of that 87% group, call it, was hedge funds in an arbitrage trade? That really AMC investors that have been here, the common stock investors, how many of those people voted for it? In other words, if you just pull out the AMC common investors, the ones that were going to see the dilution, how many of those people want this to go through? I think that's the ultimate question, and I think that's ultimately what comes after April 27th, and that will be the narrative that the judge and the courts will try to figure out. Now, obviously, they want comments on the settlement if they think that is fair, but the biggest point being that I have been reiterating is nothing is going to happen after April 27th. Now, there's going to be a 60-day period for any comments or questions, right, on this settlement proposal. Question is, do we get another vote? How does the judge feel about the whole reverse split situation? But nothing's actually going to happen there. Now, why I've been calling this out and why I think it's a very bullish event on April 27th is because how dead set hedge funds are that this is going to be bearish. Right now, hedge funds are fully positioned for AMC stock to drop like a rock after April 27th. It's pretty clear to see because we have an option expiration on April 28th. So the 27th is going to be a Thursday. Friday is April 28th when you have this option expiration. Now on Monday, and I think this is important to point out, last Monday, the total open interest for this expiration was 9% calls. So for every 10 options that were placed on April 28th, 9 of them were puts and 1 of them was calls. That means basically everyone was betting that AMC was going to fall dramatically after April 28th. And if you actually look at the strikes in which people are actually betting on for that expiration of April 28th, I mean, most of the open interest is at the $2 put. Second in line would be the $3 put. And you got about 77,000 for open interest at the $3 put and 78,000 for open interest at the $2 put. So a lot of people are betting that, like I said, AMC is going to fall like a rock. To get to that $3 put from here would be a rough drop, rough estimate. Let's get a percentage drop here. That would be, it's sizable, right? From where we currently sit at $5.20 per share, to get down to $3 would be a 41.5% drop. To get down to $2 would be a 60% drop from here. That's a lot of negative positioning. And that shows you how hedge funds are feeling about this trade. On the other hand, it's pretty clear to see that while the short interest continues to climb on AMC, sitting at 26%, number one, AMC remains on the threshold securities list. So take that as naked shorts giving you the FTDs or the options giving you FTDs. Something or someone out there is betting heavily that AMC is going to fall from here, represented by these 2 data points that I just pointed out. But as well as that, the cost to borrow rates have been in between 200 and 1,000% for weeks now. And shorts have been losing on their short positions also for weeks now, as AMC stock has been at an elevated level and has really caught a lot of bids from the bottom over here at about $4 per share, where hedge funds were really doubling down on those short positions. From this immediate low that we've seen, or call it around $4 per share, AMC stock is currently up about 25% from that level. And around $4.50 is where a lot of shorts have been taking out those short positions. That's where you've seen the short interest really go from like 20% to 26%, is in that median range. So shorts, they're losing on their actual equity, right, on their short position. Their cost to borrow fees are out of this world, still sitting at 250%, meaning if you shorted $100 of stock on January 1st, 2023, by January 1st, 2024, you're going to pay about $200 to $250 right now on that short position. That means you need to see a sizable drop in AMC quickly, or I mean, the trade would be null and void. You would lose money almost guaranteed on your position. So I think the overwhelming majority of these hedge funds are betting that still, even today, with as much knowledge and information that they have that we don't have access to, they're still expecting dramatic, decision making from the courts on April 27th. And that's simply not going to happen. It's not going to happen as fast as they would like it to happen. And considering what we're saying here, cost to borrow rates 250%, they need to see this happen quickly. And it's not going to. At the very minimum, my initial estimate of when things could get settled out in the courts, when you might actually see the reverse split, is likely June-ish, because you're going to get that court date April 27th, likely going to get another one middle of May, end of May, or potentially the beginning of June. And I think nothing's going to happen significantly at this court date, but by that next court date, right, end of May, June, that's where you might get an actual ruling on this matter. And from now until then, I mean, things are going to look pretty bullish, in my personal opinion. After April 27th, I think this sets us up for hundreds of percents to an upside move, because shorts are just way overexposed and way over leveraged on these positions. Total dollar amount currently sold short in AMC sits at $741.29 million. Free flow out on loan at 37%. 191.43 million shares that are out on loan. Days to cover sitting at about 5, and the utilization is at 100%. And it's been at 100% for like 6 months now, maybe longer than that. It's been a very long amount of time, guys. So these are my opinions on April 27th, and I just wanted to comment on the interview from Tony, DeNaro's channel, because it's basically what we've been saying the whole time on this channel, but it does feel good to hear it from someone that's been specializing in Chancery Court for, 10 years now. Feels good. A little bit more reassurance that likely nothing significant is going to happen April 27th, besides a very real likelihood that AMC goes much higher from here. Guys, so that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully, this did provide a little bit more clarity on the situation, and me actually addressing this does provide clarity. On top of that, I do want to point out as well that I really don't care what happens, to be honest. I think short term, nothing happening on April 27th, this getting delayed, is bullish as hell for AMC's actual share price. But again, if this were to go through on April 27th, I think AMC raising billions of dollars in capital, while it is dilutive towards AMC's share price, every time AMC has raised capital, the stock has rallied, and it's been a lot less capital than this. So I think if AMC did raise a lot of capital, I mean, it totally crushes that short thesis. After all, look at what normal movie theater companies are doing right now. Look at a Cinemark. Look at some of these other companies, and IMAX. They're hitting highs that they haven't seen a lot of the times, most of the time in these names, over a year now. They're hitting fresh new highs. The business itself should be doing better. And I think even after earnings, that's going to be the case. And I think mix that with a lot of capital being raised really crushes that short thesis. So I think this ultimately obviously ends in a squeeze. Whether it happens sooner or later is really the main discussion here. Yeah. So that is going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.